You know, Katrina was a devastating event, one of the worst things to happen in the entire history of New Orleans. And during that, the aftermath of Katrina, we lost a lot. We lost, 1,800 people. We lost a lot of property, a lot of valuable possessions, a lot of memories. In a way, life as you knew it died with Katrina. So we started to see these images of water rising, of people scurrying through water, people trapped in their houses, people trapped in their attics, people on rooftops begging for help, people hanging out of windows, and then, of course, images of people who had drowned in the water. I remember one picture, and there was a bloated, floating body, and that was close to where I had been driving just a few days before. You see things like that and it's happening somewhere else, you feel compassion, but when it's your city, it's a whole nother thing. It's like a part of you being destroyed, a part of you drowning. I discovered through Google Images that my house was under 8 feet of water and that everything in it was drowned, things that were irreplaceable. So it was very difficult. I felt like my life was gone. A lot of us were not able to deal with this from a mental health perspective. There should have been perhaps mass counseling available for citizens to deal with the mental health aspect of the after effects of Katrina. I remember them saying on television that it would take 10 to 12 years for people just to begin to recover. And that sounds like a ridiculously long time, but the truth is it's 20 years since Katrina, and I hear people say all the time, including myself, that we haven't recovered yet. I celebrate these memorials every year, and to be honest, there was a point at which, as the ceremony would go on with the speakers, my mind would drift to think about all the devastation that I saw, the losses, the bodies, the people that I knew that drowned, lives that were destroyed and never came back. And I started to realize that no matter what I lost, I always had my music. And I started to just play and play more to try to let out or express the emotions that I was feeling through the instrument. That helped a lot. Doing memorials for me commemorates the losses, but sometimes I just have to not really think about that. I'm present, I'm playing music, but sometimes I just find it too difficult to dig that deep back into that sadness and that emotion. You can only suffer through certain things so much. And so for a lot of the memorials, I pray, I'm mournful, but I try not to internalize them so much that it, pulls me back toward depression. Our famous jazz funerals are a perfect example of how we view one's passing. The jazz funeral has two main parts. Coming from the church or the cemetery, we play slow, sad, mournful songs like, that highlights the sadness that we feel at loss. There's a slow procession toward the cemetery. When they're a respectable distance away or after burial, There is joyous up-tempo music and dancing. You know, the music might be sort of like this. You know, so that joyous up-tempo music and dancing expresses the belief that when a person is gone, they have become free of earthly troubles and burdens and have moved on to a greater place, a greater reward, a new, more positive and joyful existence. And so for many of us, we looked at Katrina that way, the Katrina experience, as we mourn the losses, but we also have to move on in a positive way toward our new life, our new existence, our new chance to start again.